Hello, my lovely anatomists and physiologists. Michele Glass here, and welcome to another Chapter 6 video. We are talking here about the 206 bones that exist in the adult skeleton and how they can be classified based on their shape and their job into one of 5 categories. Now, I'm going to suggest that you organize your notes like the table I've presented here. So I have 3 columns and 6 rows. I have one column called shape. And underneath, I have the 5 different classifications: long, short, flat, irregular, and sesamoid, with some space to write a little description of each of those. The second column is called function, and this is where you can record the type of function associated with each shape. And the third column is called example, and so that's where you can list out your examples. And this would then give you a really easy note reference as you go back and study this material. Let's begin by talking about long bones. So long bones are going to be kind of cylindrical in shape, and they're going to be longer than they are wide. They're going to be longer than they are wide. So sometimes when we hear the word long bone or the phrase long bone, we think that means these are the longest bones of the body. Yes, and also no. So when we look at examples of long bones, we're going to see phalanges. These are the bones of your fingers. So these are actually not very long on the ruler, but they match the description of longer than they are wide. Your metacarpals would be considered long bones. Your humerus, ulna, radius, femur, tibia, fibula, and then at the feet, of course, phalanges again, your toes, and then your metatarsals. When we talk about the function of the long bone, we'll see that these are going to be providing leverage. They're going to be providing leverage, or they're acting as levers for the muscle to contract against. So the muscle is pulling on these long bones. The next type of bone for us to look at is called a short bone, and this is short as in cube-like. These are going to have equal length, width, and thickness. And it's important to remember when we talk about living things that they are like on average equal length, width, and thickness. It doesn't have to be like perfectly spot on, right? And examples of short bones include the carpals, the wrist bones of the bones of the wrist, and the tarsals, the bones of the ankle. The job of your short bones is to provide stability, support, and there's not usually a whole lot of movement associated within these bones. So they're more like the stabilizers. When we talk about a flat bone, thin is the word that should really come to mind. And even though we call it flat, it's not flat like your table. It has some curve to it typically. Examples of flat bones include the scapula or scapulae with the AE ending for plural, your sternum, and your cranial bones. The job of your flat bone is really to provide attachment for muscles, and then protect organs underneath. And the only other example of a flat bone that I forgot to mention are your ribs. Continuing to your irregular bones, these are going to have a complex, hard to describe shape. These are those that are typically the most difficult to kind of get your orientation and figure out as you are new to the study of bones. Examples of irregular bones include the bones of the vertebral column, the coxal bone, even though that one's not listed for us in our textbook, and facial bones are often irregular. And these are going to offer protection and support as their jobs. And the last one to look at is the sesamoid bone. And the sesamoid bone is going to be small and then round. And here's the key feature: formed in a tendon, where your tendon is a connective tissue that connects muscle to bone. And tendons are going to be part of the muscular system, not skeletal system. Tendons are part of the muscular system and attach muscle to bone. Now, one of the interesting things about sesamoid bones is that they vary by individual. So the total number and location will vary by individual, but one that we all have in common is the patella. So the patella is that knee bone, and this is the classic example of the sesamoid bone because this is the one that we all have. Functions of sesamoid bones are to protect the tendon by overcoming compressive forces. So it's protecting the tendon from compression. That's it for this video. Stay tuned for the next. And as always, take care of yourselves and each other.